Hi everybody. Well, we've all heard those stories of people who go on a cruise ship and complain that, hey, why can't I bring my marijuana on board? Because I can smoke marijuana in my home state and they can't do it on a cruise ship. We've heard stories of people saying, hey, why can't I bring my gun on a cruise ship? I'm allowed to carry a gun in my state. It's like different rules on a cruise ship, right? Well, wait till you hear the story that I have of this entitled passenger who ended up missing a $300 excursion for like the strangest reason. So if you've been on a cruise excursion before where you had to take transportation, a bus of some kind, and you get on them, in many places there are seatbelts there and they make you wear the seatbelt because it's a law there, and the tour company can actually get shut down if they're ever inspected and somebody's not wearing their seatbelt. If they get pulled over for any reason, if there's a search on board, if there's a person, sometimes they put somebody on the shuttles and on the buses incognito to make sure that they're enforcing this law. It gets that strict out there. Well, we had one passenger who was touring in Egypt, and they were going to go and see some ruins. Now, the trip was about 2.5 hours down the road. When the tour guide went around and was double checking, asked everyone to put on their seatbelt, they were checking and they came across one gentleman who did not have a seatbelt on, and they said, "Oh, sorry, sir, you might not have heard me. Can you please buckle up your seatbelt?" He said, "No, I'm not going to wear my seatbelt." And she says, "Well, sir, please buckle up your seatbelt." And he said, "No, I don't have to buckle up my seatbelt." And she said, you might not understand. It's not the cruise line asking you to buckle up. It's not the tour company asking you to buckle up. It's the law in this country that you have to wear a seatbelt." And he retorted right away by saying, "Well, in my country, I don't have to wear a seatbelt, so I'm not going to wear one." And she says, "Are you in your country?" He goes, "No." "Well, then those laws don't apply, do they? Please buckle up." And he said, "No, I'm not going to." He said, "Okay, well, you have two choices. One, you can buckle up and come on this excursion and go visit the ruins with us, or we will have to remove you from the cruise, from the tour, because legally the driver is not allowed to start driving until everyone is buckled up. And we will not leave, and all 50 other people here on the bus will not leave as well until you buckle up, or we have to have you removed." And he put up another fight for a good 5-10 minutes arguing this, and finally he relented. He finally relented and buckled up his seat. And then the whole way, all the way for 2 hours, people said he can be heard just complaining and complaining and complaining, getting louder and louder and louder as the trip went on. Now, I'm glad I wasn't sitting there, because I get really annoyed with people. It's one thing to complain, you're upset about something, okay, but it's those people who go on and on and on and on and just whine and whine and whine after it's all been settled, who just doesn't want to let something go, right? Just doesn't want to let something go. And in fact, he got so upset that by the time he got to the tour, he did not even go in to the tour. He walked around outside the bus, grumpy, complaining, and mumbling the whole time, and didn't get to go into the ruins. And so that's not the end of the story. You think that might be the end of the story, oh, it's a bad thing. His wife apparently went in, had a good time, enjoyed the ruins, took tons of pictures. They got back on the bus. Again, he was reluctant to put on his seatbelt. They had to ask him again. They get back to the tour, and he marches down to the excursion desk and demands a refund because he didn't get to go on the tour. And they said, "Oh, what happened?" And he says, "I was forced to wear my seatbelt." And they said, "And?" And? Well, that's it. So I didn't go into the tour. So the tour excursion desk went, so you were asked to follow the law of a country by wearing your seatbelt, which is a safety thing, by the way. And then when you got there, you on your own decided not to go into the tour. He goes, yeah, because I was upset. And they said, well, I'm afraid you're going to be more upset. Because they didn't give him a refund for the tour. Being an ass doesn't give you your money back. And I'm quite sure the people that were around him on the tour that were delayed all this time at the beginning of the tour because he was just complaining and mumbling and fighting, and I'm sure they were very happy to hear that he didn't get his money back. But I know rules are different everywhere, and not all the rules that we like are followed in every country. It might be okay to do something here, it's not okay to do something there. But when you're visiting a foreign country, you follow their laws, you follow their rules. If you go to England from the United States and you rent a car, doesn't mean you can start driving on the right-hand side of the road because you do that in your home country. You'll get about 40 feet before you're in an accident, right? You have to follow the rules there. And just delaying everybody for something as simple like that is just an entitlement that I cannot kind of tolerate. I would have been fuming and probably would have been just, at some point, gotten up to here. If he would have been continuing for 2 hours, loudly complaining on a bus beside me the whole time, at one point, I would have just probably had an incident. I'm very tolerant, and it takes a lot to get me angry, but I think 2 hours in a bus, because I don't like bus rides anyway, probably would have tipped me over the top. But I'll leave you with one more story, a quick one where I was talking once, and this cruise person working on the cruise ship told me this one story. They said it didn't happen to her, but it happened to somebody else. So I'll take this with a grain of salt if it really happened or not, but to me, I can believe it happened. I can believe it happened after some of the stories I heard, because she said a person went up to somebody at the front desk and said, excuse me, my balcony is up on the 12th deck. Can you tell me where the underwater balconies are? And the lady went, excuse me? And she says, sorry, you must be new here. Can I please talk to somebody who knows what they're doing? I would have loved to have been that person. Because I'm pretty sarcastic myself sometimes, and I think I would have enjoyed thinking of answers for that person. I probably would have said, follow me, ma'am. And led them someplace where, just down in the bottom of the deck and everything. And said, okay, now if you drill through 18 inches of steel there, you can get out into the ocean. I don't know. Just, it sounds like it could be true with the stories you hear of people out there. But what do you think about the guy who refused to buckle up because he didn't have to do it in his home country, delayed everybody on the excursion, and then demanded his money back because he didn't go into the excursion on his own? Nobody was holding him from going in. He just was grumpy and mad and upset. Boy, talk about getting yourself a ruined vacation over the littlest thing.